It's going down. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakha Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth in sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of It's Going Down, being brought to you by the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. U.S. conducts a provocative Arctic missile test aimed at Russia, as you see right here. Okay, so it says Washington had earlier declared cooperation with Moscow in the region virtually impossible, as you see right there. Okay, it says the U.S. military tested an experimental cruise missile launch system above the Arctic Circle on Wednesday. The commander in charge of the test called it a deliberately provocative move aimed at deterring Russia, which we know that America is not going to win against Russia because, presuming to the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, the Lord is dealing with Russia. Okay, the Lord is against Babylon, like it tells you in Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, and I believe the 51st chapter as well. The operation involved dropping a long-range cruise missile from a special operation C-130 transport aircraft with parachutes, slowing its descent until its rocket motor blasted toward a target. The deployment system, called Rapid Dragon by the military, was developed by the U.S. Air Force, and Wednesday marked its first demonstration in Europe. Okay, the choice of Norway's Andøya space range for the launch was deliberate. Located around 2 degrees north of the Arctic Circle, the range sits at the far western edge of the region of a military and economic importance to Russia. Okay? And if you notice, this is them pretty much, this is the Lord stirring up Russia against the United States. Now, I'll admit, while the U.S. do have, some advanced technological, weaponry, not to mention America's symbol is known as the eagle, right? When it comes to military might, America mainly shines when it comes to its Air Force. And the proof of that is, well, look at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. How did they drop atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki? They did it from their war jets, from their warplanes, right? So just as America's symbol is the eagle, America mainly shines when it comes to their Air Force. Just like how the eagle shines when it's flying in the midst of the clouds and when it swoops down on its prey. But still, that's not going to be enough to stop Russia because, again, the Lord is dealing with Russia. So it says the tests push this thing within range of Russia. We are intentionally trying to be provocative without being escalatory. Operations led Lieutenant Colonel Lawrence Malenkov told the U.S. military's strike outlets, "We're trying to deter Russian aggression and expansionist behavior by showing enhanced capabilities of the NATO allies." Now, according to biblical prophecy, we know that NATO is going to turn on the United States of America. Some 50 of the Arctic coastline is Russian territory, and Moscow regularly drills its troops in sub-zero warfare. Russia keeps strategic bombers at bases on the Kola Peninsula, just over 500 kilometers to the east of Wednesday's test. Moscow also tested its nuclear-capable yars. Okay, let's read that again. Moscow also tested its nuclear-capable yars, intercontinental ballistic missile, at a spaceport in Arkhangelsk, further to the southeast in October, and conducted live fire exercises with anti-ship missiles in the furthest reaches of its northeast a month earlier. So just as the U.S. has been conducting, tests, Russia said, "Hey, look, we've been testing nuclear weapons." And that's the spirit, because according to biblical prophecy, Russia is going to shoot intercontinental ballistic missiles, which will be carrying nuclear warheads on this country known as America, which is known as Babylon the Great in the Holy Scriptures. Washington considers its influence in the Arctic threatened by Russia. The U.S. 10-year national strategy for the Arctic, which was published last month, considers cooperation with Moscow in the polar region virtually impossible and calls for an increase in military presence above the Arctic Circle. It says, however, earlier this year, the Minister for the Development of Russian Far East and Arctic, Alexei Chekunkov, said that Western countries intend to turn the Arctic into another battlefield, whereas for Russia, this is a space for cooperation. Speaking to RIA Novosti in June, Chekukan claimed that attempts to divide the Arctic are dangerous and short-sighted and also contradict the interests of global security. Now, with that being said, let's go to Matthew 24:6. Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And it says this: "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So we're going to hear of wars and rumors of wars. And that's what we're hearing here. That's what we're witnessing. We're hearing of wars and rumors of wars. But Yahushua commanded us not to be troubled by these things, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Luke 21 verse 9. "But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions." Now, a commotion is when, two or more people move together. Okay, the word commotion is a compound word when you break it down. C-O-M, which means with or together with. Then you got the word motion, which means to move. So the word commotion means to move together with. Okay? Also, that's what a protest is. That's what a riot is. When people gather up by the thousands to protest and riot in the streets, what do you call that? You call that a commotion. Okay? It says, "But when ye hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified. For these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by." So with that, I'm going to say, Shalom is on to the next one.